Hey guys, I hope you're not getting bored with is this number divisible by series, although this is not really a series because it's just a continuation from the previous video, but the dividing by 7 is actually the most interesting one, and it's the most complicated out of the 6 or the 7 that I'm showing you, although compared to the other mathematical equation and formulas and calculation you have to do in your real life, including the 2-digit times 2-digit calculation, the one you can do in your head, this is a piece of cake. Okay, so let's start. Before I do anything, I'm just going to quickly write a set of numbers like so, and an arrow over here. Now don't worry about it, it's going to be pretty much self-explanatory in a couple seconds. Now let's get started. Let me get my cyan, and the first thing we want to do to check that the number is divisible by 7 is look at the 1's digit number and then times that by 1 equals 4. The second thing what you want to do is get this 10th digit number and multiply that by 3, which equals 18. And I think it's green. The third thing we want to do is look at the 100th digit number and multiply by 2, which equals 14. The fourth thing we want to do, I think it was magenta, there, is look at the 1000th digit number and multiply that by -1 equals -5. The sixth thing you want to do, which is 4, is multiply that by -3. Now I think you're getting the pattern there. What you want to do is, starting from the 1 digit number going that way, you want to multiply each number by 1, 3, 2, -1, -3, -2, and then go back to 1, 3, 2, -1, -3, -2. So let me quickly finish that. That equals -12, and let's go back to cyan. There, 7 times -2 equals -14, and what's the second color? I think it was yellow. Yep. And lastly, 9 times we used up to -2, so we're going to go back to 1 equals 9. So we have a set of colors. Now what we want to do next is add them together. So 4 plus 18 plus 14 plus -5 -12 -14 plus 9 equals. Now let me do this because I'll just use red. Because I have plus 14 and -14, I could take that away, and that's a 22. -5 17, -12 is 5, plus 9 is 14, so we have 14 as an answer. Now the last thing we're going to do, coming back to my magenta, is divide that 14 by 7, and that equals 2. And if this number is a whole number, then this whole number is divisible by 7. There we go. So it was a bit complicated. What you have to do is basically look at each of this number starting from the 1's digit and then multiply it by 1, then 3, then 2, then -1, -3, and then -2, and then coming back to 1, like so. So we started off 1 and then went to 3, 2, and we went up to -2, and then we went back to 1. And then once we did that for all the numbers, we are going to add them together, get a number, and then lastly divide that number, in this case 14, by 7, and if the solution is a whole number, then this whole number is divisible by 7. Now let me check my time. Okay, I think I could do 8. So let me quickly get a new document. Okay, so we have when x equals 8. Now as you can see, the format is slightly different because when checking if a number is divisible by 8, there are it's split into 2 ways depending on the outcome of our check number 1. So let's look at number 1. Okay, we're going to do this both at the same time. Now what we're going to do is look at the 3rd digit from backwards, so technically the 100th digit. So this is 9 and this is 8. Now what you can see is that the 100th digit is odd and 100th digit is even over here. Now depending on whether that is odd or even changes slightly how you calculate. Now let's start from even because it's a bit more simpler, or one step simpler. What you want to do is look at the 2 digits at the end, so the 10th digit and the 1 digit, so in this case 48, and divided by 8, so that equals 6, and because that is a whole number, it's divisible by 8. Now let me use a different color. I think it's a green next. Yep, and look at the odd one. So we have 60. What we're going to do is minus 4 from that number over here, similar to getting 48. So we got the last two numbers, 6 and 0, and turned that into 60, or just brought it out from the whole number, 60. And instead of just dividing by 8, we are going to minus 4 first, which makes it 56, and then we are going to divide that by 8, which equals 7. And because that is a whole number, yep, my mind went blank for a split second. Where were we? Yep, because this is a whole number, that is divisible by 8. Now let me get my trusty calculator out and check both of them. 779,648 divided by 8 equals some number, 97,456. Now let's do 523,85960 divided by 8 equals, and there we go, 2 whole numbers. So both of these methods work. Okay, quickly let's do the last number, which is 9. So let me check if this number 41121, 41,121 is divisible by 9. Just like 3 and 6, we are going to add them together. So add all of them together, 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, I chose that number on purpose. And we are going to divide that number there by 3, which equals 3. Or we could divide that by 9. Actually, dividing by 9 is better, is 1. Now, if that solution is a whole number, then well done, this number is divisible by 9. Let me quickly check that with a calculator. Whoops, sorry, I dropped my tablet pen. Hope that noise wasn't too loud. If my microphone caught it, 41121 divided by 9 equals 4,569. Yep, I was right, or this method was right. Good. So that concludes my Is This Divisible By series within my mental math series. I just realized that actually this Is This Divisible By isn't really mental math. Although you can kind of do it with your inside your head if you have a nice if you can visualize a blackboard or a whiteboard nicely inside your head. However, I think this is more of like a math trick, pencil and paper method. But oh well, I'm just going to include it into my mental math tutorial series. Why not?